que m'a dit nous un grand bonsoir, chers auditeurs auditrices de la radio Génération 2000. Pas bien que vous branchez tout château émission pour là, une émission qui passait chaque vendredi à compter de 5 heures. Comme panélistes, nous commençons à réunir et surtout en respectant les principes de social distancing. Non? Et nous avons avec nous animateur nous Mathieu Donald et qui est dans le studio avec nous. Alors on dit un grand bonsoir à Mathieu Donald. Bonsoir Mathieu, comment est?
Bonsoir Fod et bonsoir tous les super branchés Radio Génération 2000. Nous connaissons, comme nous connaissons Fod, chaque vendredi, nous toujours là, nous toujours fait le devoir pour nous déplacer, pour nous venir dans Radio Génération 2000, comme d'habitude, dans le cadre de l'émission TOUCHE. Tout le monde connaît TOUCHE, son émission à caractère social, politique, économique et culturel. Une émission qui passe chaque vendredi et sur 87.9 de 5h pour 7h. Et nous toujours là. La émission ça, c'est émission, c'est émission auditeur, c'est émission côté nous toujours débattre, c'est des sujets qui sont importants pour la communauté nous, pour la communauté côté nous vivre et puis pour les gens qui toujours branché Radio Génération 2000 soit à travers sur internet soit là, soit que vous avez le téléphone ou bien soit sur Facebook Live ou bien que soit côté les amis, famille, Génération 2000, c'est toujours un plaisir pour nous. Et chaque vendredi, vous nous faites parler ça ensemble avec nous, ensemble avec vous. Et je dis à tout Fod, c'est un plaisir pour moi tout parce que on là ensemble avec nous, comme parfois nous connaissons qu'on a des difficultés pour présenter l'émission par rapport à l'activité que vous gagnez, même pour passer auditeur toujours mis voir, il y a toujours, même là pas là, moi là tout, c'est toujours même là, et nous toujours là, et tout château toujours respecter ça que vous le faire Fod. C'est consalié, c'est avec Génération 2000, la radio Génération 2000, et puis nous avons un staff tout, qui est toujours prêt pour le bon service, et qui est toujours prêt pour aider la communauté, et soit à travers moyens que vous gagnez, soit à travers que recherche ou bien demandes que vous faites, pour toucher toute une série de familles au niveau communautaire. Et c'est toujours un plaisir pour nous, chaque fois nous la faute, et chaque fois nous parler dans la radio, chaque fois nous parler avec les responsables de la radio pour dire donner mes activités que nous avons pour faire pendant la période là, faute mes activités que nous avons pour faire pour la période là. Ou monsieur toujours qui est tête busy pour la communauté parce que il n'y a pas d'autre idée que c'est idée de développement, nous connaissons développement, c'est qui s'allie, développement c'est leur pensée, c'est leur ouvrir aider une communauté, c'est leur ouvrir faire une bagaille pour moun k'ap vivre pour ti moun petit tout la vivre les villes sortir fait pendant période côté sous terre c'est ça le développement c'est dans ce sens que je dis encore Fod je pense que ou bon invité je dis je pense que c'est un auditeur autour pour le parler quoi soit pour poser question soit au niveau développement au niveau ça que vous faites tout Fod.
Mon cher, à vrai dire, je ne vais pas dire ça parce que dans toute communauté à connaître là, c'est fait Mathieu Donald et Baraka était ça va dire que ça va ça. Et bon c'est que nous va arrêter sans passer nous passer à inaperçu pendant ce temps c'est fait Mathieu Donald, animateur panneau, animateur sérieux, un animateur qui est toujours là avec nous et un pile respect pour Mathieu Donald. Nous souhaitons que bon Dieu toujours accompagne nous dans quelque chose qu'on fait dans la vie, parce que c'est ça qui est important dans quelque chose qu'on fait. Et si vous avez une position quelconque, et vous voyez que un monde comme ça qui est toujours dévoué, qui est dédié avec nos bagailles, la fait, ou qu'à confier le tâche ça parce qu'il est toujours là 100% avec nous. Happy birthday Mathieu Donald!
Happy birthday to you, baby. Oh, happy birthday to you, my love.
Nous allons commencer là et nous allons déraper. Pas oublier que branchez tout château, émission pour là, une émission qui a à caractère social, politique et culturel qui passait sous antenne radio Génération 2087.9 FM. Au cours de l'émission, ça, je dis à là, nous pourrons avoir une chance de parler avec Trustee de Spring Valley, en l'occurrence Eudson, Tyson, Francois, qui avec nous dans le studio qui est bel et bien présent. Alors, on a dit un grand bonsoir avec Eudson, Tyson, Francois. How are you today, sir?
Bonsoir, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure que lié. What a pleasure it is to be here on the famous Radio Génération 2000, Radio Generation 2000, and grateful to be here. I'd like to recognize Ari avec Fritz, plus tout staff member yo, dans radio qui toujours live. Make sure qu'il y a partagé avec tout le peuple haïtien. Le plus important que je dit que M. Donald, bonne fête. Que bon Dieu bénisse, fortifiez dans tout ça que vous fait dans la vie. Et je souhaite que bon Dieu m'a béni tout, ou même avec toute famille dans tout ça que nous remettons dans la rue. And last but not least, si on a une machine de que le monde pense que c'est plus important pour y courir, Mr. Ford, que Jean que moi dit là, thank you so much for this wonderful invitation. I couldn't stay away, but thank you. Merci en pile pour cette invitation.
So I welcome you on board, and as I said earlier to you, so you are a brother to me and this community. And then, based on what we are about to talk throughout this show, je pense que la communauté a connaît exactement qui ça peut faire avec vote you. I cannot tell them to vote you or vote for you. I cannot tell them to vouch for you either. But I don't know exactly what you're going to be discussing based on the question that will be provided to you. Mais ça, ça me capable de dire what number pour tendre et parce que grand pile listeners tout qui attendent là et surtout dans mais que ou dites tout ou bien ou voulez faire sentir que la caille but ou sentir uncomfortable. I want to make you feel that you are at home. So j'aimerais te dire là nous gain Trustee et Eudson Francois Tyson Francois, thank you. He's a current trustee of Spring Valley. And then I think he's running as well for Senate, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, we're currently not running for New York State Senate, the 38th district.
38th district, okay.
Pour Sénat, pour district 38.
Okay. First off, my first question to you, I don't know if you're ready yet. So a lot of people know like Eudson Tyson Francois, but a lot of people will be seeing you on Facebook or watching you on Facebook. For those people who don't know you, how can you describe yourself briefly?
Well, what can I say? Eudson Tyson Francois is a man that is of Haitian descent, was born in Haiti, migrated from Haiti in 1984. Loving parents, mother and father, who tremendously love Rockland County, state of New York, Village Spring Valley. Freda Francois, I'm tout le monde connaît maman. And papa, siblings, I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, and I have a 17-year-old son. I've been pretty much here all my life in the state of New York, helping our community to continue to excel, specifically that of the young generation, the young people. And not leaving out, of course, our seniors. And currently, if I think most people know, for the last 2.5 years, I've been serving as an elected official, as trustee for Village Spring Valley, / police commissioner. And before that, I was the urban board renewal for the Village of Spring Valley as well. I have pretty much volunteered my way through life, helping out communities such as our seniors, our youth, East Rampart Central School District. I'm actually on one of the boards, the Teacher Policy Committee Board, which my responsibilities are as such pour que moi develop teachers programme qui pour faire plus fort dans capabilities yo, mettre programme pour servir. I will stop now and let you continue, and then.
Okay, that was like an easy question, right? The first one.
No, that was hard because I think that whenever you talk, you have to talk about yourself, it's kind of like a hard thing. So me, I'm more or less like people to say something about me,
you, right?
because it's I can talk about you. I know I should talk about you, but it's hard for me to talk about myself. So, but my track record in terms of what I am doing, not what I did, is all that matters to me. Serving people. So, I'm not a politician like others may consider themselves. I rather want to let you know that I serve people. So I'm a public servant who, man, has a desire and a niche for, man, iron out issues in people's lives.
What motivates you to come into politics, though?
Well, you know, I used to represent Affinity Health Plan, and everybody knows me for Medicaid, Child Plus Family Health. Everybody in the world knows that. So I think, you know, my mother, let me start off by saying, actually, I have you know, an uncle of mine who's actually a former prime minister of finance in Haiti. So I didn't know that, but, well, I didn't know, you know, that I would go into this, but my mother, you know, since she's been here since 79, has been helping out. Maman sol moun depuis longtemps qu'elle a payé un paquet moun, aider moun yo fil immigration, mener yo dans Congress, dans Senate office, aider moun yo dans élection tout bagage. So my mother has been, I think, the catalyst first and foremost of basically like helping people with immigration issues. As soon as they come in, they need whether it's the TPS, the green card, whatever it is. She's been in the forefront of helping them, whether writing letters and so on. So I think that's what motivated me, number one. But
she's also a public servant.
She's a public servant, and she serves in her cooking, she serves in her prayer, she serves in just giving as a whole, and that's how my entire family, that's how we've been. But I want to say, with regards to Affinity Health Plan, you know, helping people to get, you know, onto the Medicaid system is one thing, but when you have to translate from Spanish to Creole to French to English, and folks, you meet a lot of folks and you realize that, wait a minute, they don't care about getting health insurance. They don't have a home to live in.
Homeless.
The homeless. Wait a minute, they don't care about insurance. They have no food.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, they don't care about health insurance. They've been battered, abused. So we realized after a little while that, you know, being a part of this company was great because we got a chance pour nous venir faire connaissance avec un pile monde que nous capable bailler au service. Et ou son chauffeur taxi, ou faire minimum income, et puis next thing on a besoin d'assurance. Ou son monde qui travaille dans n'importe qualité de travail. Trustee Francois avant ça, tu connais de tout le monde jeune assurance. You know monde qui te quand travail et qui que m'aider one day said to me, listen, I see you always shaking hands with the politician. Why don't you go and do the same thing? Because you're already representing us right now. Pourquoi ça que ou même pas courir entrer pour aller servir nous plus bien que quand on capable de service là qui nous a déjà plus ou capable de pied en dedans tout.
Your voice can be heard.
Yes. So I will touch base on that, the way your voice of the people. So based on some of them, I'm going to go into that why que ma courir pour Sénat. So I will be able to explain to you.
No, I will come to that. Not now.
So that is where that the initiation of me wanting to run for office. You know, listen, I'm an American citizen. It's a lawful-minded citizen. Our duty is to serve. You see something, you don't just say something.
But you act.
You act upon it, and that's my motto: community first, and when you see something, do something about it.
Pas oublier que au même qui branché actuellement là, on a recevoir avec nous Trustee of Spring Valley et en l'occurrence Eudson, Tyson Francois qui c'est non seulement c'est Trustee of Spring Valley, nous avons dit député Spring Valley, comme ça tout, il appoint for Senate et district 38, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, ou même qui branché là, et sûr certain que ou t'as aimé connaître un pile bagaille de élection ça qui va le passer là, et ou t'as aimé connaître et qui ça li gagne dans agenda, ou t'as aimé connaître et pas mal ou bien un pile question qui a traversé dans tête ou actuellement là. Et bien, je pense que Spring Valley a pile question pour vous, mais cependant, je pense que la converger à travers moi-même qui a représenté une sorte de catalyseur. Et de ce fait, et pour nous continuer avec l'émission, et au travail de Mathieu Donald?
Non, c'est juste pour dire que si Trustee François là, il n'est pas engagé à la génération 2000, Parce que c'est que dans le cadre d'une émission et touche à tout que nous invitons et Trustee François la radio, on a toujours free pour aller là 8:45 419 1825 après débat juste pour adresser avec Trustee là sur nos questions que vous poser.
OK. Et avant tout, nous connaissons que nous avons des touches à tout et à vrai dire, il y a 5 heures avec 30 minutes. Nous ne pouvons pas arrêter comme ça sans nous pas vouloir faire qu'on ait un bagage. C'est que la communauté nous a touché en pile. Et bon, la question qui a venu pour Trustee François, et communauté nous at large, il est vraiment frappé par COVID-19. A lot of people that we know, they have passed away, unfortunately. I don't remember having seen like a couple briefing from the mayor or like the trustee. So what's going on exactly in terms of talking to the community? Because COVID-19 got this community very impacted. So therefore, what can you say regarding it? Because I barely see briefing having had done by you guys. What's going on?
Well, let me just say that I cannot speak for my colleagues, but I know that if I was sitting in that seat, I would have those type of briefing. Not to say that I haven't, but sur Facebook moi, vous connaissez que moi fais 7 missions que quand m'a fait briefing chaque dimanche sur COVID-19. So if you follow me very well, I've had my town hall right on Facebook about 6 or 7 times every Sunday since COVID has started to basically enlighten our community. But before I can address that, let me sincerely offer my sincere condolences on behalf of the village of Spring Valley, on behalf of the Francois family, to the entire state of New York, the entire nation, wherever you are around the world, because this pandemic has plagued our communities. We continue to lose folks over and over, although that we have pretty much everything has pretty much come to almost a standstill, but there are folks that are still going to the hospitals. I think yesterday alone, we just started our new testing center from the state, from the governor right here at the Martin Luther King Center, which is a very, very good thing. We're speaking Creole, we're speaking Spanish, we have all the information that are out. I'm not going to specify and say kudos to who was responsible for that. I am just grateful to know that we do have a center that is operable. And to be honest with you, it was spearheaded from NAACP and so many other elected officials. So I want to say that yesterday we had about 89 folks that were tested. The day before we had about 100-something folks that were tested. So I think today we have a predominantly very large turnout. But let me just say, because we are addressing the Haitian community, this is a Haitian radio station, in the village of Spring Valley alone, we have lost relatively over the amount of folks that actually passed away, that died from COVID-19. Overwhelmingly 50% of them have been from the Haitian community, and of that, of course, the Latino community was after that. But I can say that
50% of the Haitian community, like, you have the number specifically?
I don't have the numbers with me right now per se, but let's say out of the 100 and something folks that have died from COVID, over 50% of them are from the Haitian community. Okay. So we got from having spoken to my clerk, the numbers are enormously high for our community, higher than anyone else, period. And we've attended a lot of funerals. We've managed to some of my briefings you saw that I talked about. One of the number one population to me, the homeless population. If anybody knows me, I really specialize in that, and I have a niche. I have a heart for serving those folks, and because of the simple fact that they have no home, but yet they have to stay home. They have to wear masks. So we've been able to feed them at large, and I want to say thank you to friends of mine who have contributed by donating to restaurants. And I also know that Radio Generation 2000 has been doing a lot. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, I want to make sure that I get the time exactly right, that we're going to be out here tomorrow, I believe at 1 p.m. we're going to be out there giving out food. There'll be food distribution to families, and yours truly, myself, I will be there in attendance. Normally, the foods are prepared in boxes in the morning. They are getting ready for pickup. So, si que ou ta remè recevoir manger, que ou pa gen la caille, ou capable venir là, dans 83 North Main Street, pas derrière, que ou bien, par contre, si c'est pas derrière, devant, que y a servi, monde qui bague aucune manger, y a mettre dans la boîte, et ou capable ou bien dire, ou bien lui.
Like it's like a kit.
Yes,
kit
a kit.
Okay.
So, there's been a lot of initiative that's taken place across the village in terms of feeding our communities.
But what I'm saying is, communication-wise, okay, I would like to know if the people are aware of it, because like.
Well, this one in particular, this is from your radio.
No, like what I'm saying is, let's say for those stuff that's been taking place, okay. Let's say for instance, ou même ou te dit comme ça que gagne plusieurs centres qui ouverts et dans le cadre pour mieux venir tester. Pour regarder exactement est-ce qu'il y a du COVID-19 là. Alors, il y a tout qui est ouvert. Mais la communauté n'a pas vraiment connu, à moins que ce soit passé par la nouvelle via Channel 12 ou other medium. So, therefore, qui genre de façon, qui genre de utiliser la communication, ça pense que un peu de monde connaît, ça va passer vraiment dans ce moment.
Moi, je me suis dit parce que le premier jour, à l'autre bois, c'était lundi. Jeudi, c'est vendredi. Premier jour, à l'autre bois. Premier monde, deuxième monde ou bien troisième monde qui passait là sont haïtiens. Qui était COVID.
Okay.
Pas d'anglais dans lui-même. I just so happened to have been there. I was able to translate to her avec someone who spoke Spanish. Il était déjà, il sentit qu'il y a chills dans tout le corps.
Okay. Like the
symptom. Symptom, but Trustee nous était là. Nous servi. Them gars moi tout ça yo. There's a problem here. The signs, they're nice. But they're not speaking to my community.
Yeah,
they're not speaking Spanish. They're not addressing and saying that this is for free. Because a lot of time, if you tell me I got to go pay to go get tested, I'm not going to go probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we've made sure that we've changed the sign saying that they're for free. Okay, coming from Northwell. So now, you're free. I told them, I said, look, if you leave these signs here, I'm not going to know about it. So every Haitian organization needs to know about this. Every Spanish organization, it needs to circulate. So right now, they're being circulated. Remember, they just started on Monday.
Just started. Don't you think that's very late? Because
well, that's not coming from me because I have nothing to do with that. It's just like, again, a lot of times, Trustee Francois, he finds things just like you do. Sometimes I end up being somewhere. I end up being somewhere because I care. Like, just to talk about a couple of the marches I was at. It was just so happened. No one actually directed that to me. From whoever was hosting it. It was passed on. So I ended up attending
But did you have the initiative of opening any type of rehabilitation center where people can come to get themselves tested or to do something else? In terms of.
My board and I, we talked about doing that, but we were concerned about the safety, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to do that, it would have had to stem up from the state. Remember, the state offers it, and it's all for free. So if we do that, they wouldn't have probably been for free like that. So thank God, that's what the state is supposed to do, as per the president. So we have a testing center located right here at 110 Bethune Boulevard at the Martin Luther King Center. So that's open to everyone. Unfortunately, what I'm trying to get our community to understand, our communities to understand, I am of Haitian descent. When you do something, when you involve me, then it's my job to make sure that I share it with you. But if you don't involve me, it's very difficult for me for you to know about it sometimes too.
But the thing is, let's say for instance, as Trustee, you represent us, right?
Right.
Okay.
I represent everyone. Everyone.
Like us. Then when I say us, I take as human being, everyone is included as well. Yeah, right. So anything that has to do with us or the Haitian community or everyone is supposed to be taken into account by you, right? So what I meant to say by that is because I feel like there is a weakness here, which is the communication key. Okay, si nous dans la communauté et gen bay ka passé, m'pense par exemple si nous bon la voix au chapitre pour représenter nous. Est-ce qu'on va penser que l'étape important pile pour ta faire communication ça va passer et even throughout the radio social network. I know you're very active on Facebook. I'm not blaming you, but I'm blaming the fact that I'm not aware of it because I'm very active on social network and I never see that being posted.
Okay. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
If your favorite color
Là, c'est notre fantique un peu pour ce soir pour nos auditeurs. Radio Génération 2000, bonsoir.
Et Eudson Francois, et je nous dire là, et mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, ou à poursuivre actuellement là, Eudson Tyson François, qui c'est un trustee of Spring Valley, qui c'est trustee of Spring Valley, ou bien nous avons dit député Spring Valley, et comme ça tout, nous avons dit la pays dans l'élection présentement, côté que la pointe for Senate. So, et 38 district. Nous, le habitant a fait nos défauts parce qu'il était à peu près 5h50, mais avant tout, nous connaissons que l'émission c'est touche à tout. Et s'il y a fait, il faut qu'on connaisse exactement chaque qui veut le faire. Mais c'est à travers ça, nous allons prendre une petite pause pub et après ça, on a retourné non petit temps qui pas trop long. Restez branchés avec nous. Parmi les micro 1, nous avons Wita Forme Désiré et Emma Desire. Dans micro 2, nous avons Mathieu Donald. Et dans micro 3, nous avons Eudson Tyson François qui c'est current trustee of Spring Valley, New York. Ok, il faut me préciser parce qu'il y a plusieurs Spring Valley. Alright, et pas oublier. Ou même qui branché, ou même qui vient pour aller nous sur Facebook, ou bien pour aller nous sur quel que soit médium, non. Pas oublier que c'est Spring Valley, New York. Alors, n'importe quelle pause, après ça, n'importe quelle étape. De retour après la pause, comme nous t'avons mentionné déjà, ou que tu connais qui est-ce qui est invité principal là, qui c'est, nous déjà connaît, il pas besoin de faire répétition. Mais toutefois, il est important pour nous rappeler qui est-ce qu'il a, qui c'est Trustee of Spring Valley de New York. Question à continuer, et comme nous déjà connaissons que nous avec Eudson Tyson François, c'est honorable, et on est elected official. Et nous avons dit comme ça que au même qui branché Canada, je profite de saluer et m'a profité de saluer la famille Alexandre, m'a profité de saluer Charles mon désir, m'a profité de saluer Junior ainsi que James, School James, m'a profité de saluer toutes les amis qui branché et Mona, m'a salué et Robinson Brésil depuis Argentine, m'a salué et Franzi depuis Dubaï, m'a salué et un paquet d'amis. N'a salué Bobouin depuis République Dominicaine, n'a salué toutes les amis qui branchés actuellement. Sans nous pas oublier toutes les amis dans Spring Valley qui branchés chauffeur taxi toutes les amis qui ont musicien tout ça et n'a salué ou même son plaisir parce que vous permettez d'entrer la caille. Et nous pas besoin d'oublier groupe cœur d'homme toutes les branchés là et attendez émission touche à tout ça, ne pas oublier Père Cyprien qui branché depuis New York City. Et Eudson Tyson François, recently there was a man by the name of George Floyd. He was brutally killed by a police officer. He got nailed down, and then due to that, he lost, unfortunately, his life. There were so many protesters, like there were riots and vandalism as well, because some people they cannot resist anymore. They cannot resist any longer. So many people have died, so many black people have died, but there is not yet an answer to come. Therefore, what would you, as like a trustee, do you have basically an advice to give the community, or do you have any bill written where you're gonna bring it to your board as far as to address this kind of issue that's being occurring, which is racial profiling? So what do you think about this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say to the families, again, of George Floyd, my sincere condolences on behalf of my entire staff, of the Village Spring Valley Board of Trustees, and my family, and all of us here. But this murder affects every black man, and every man that's ever been pulled over by a police officer that has felt as though that they were in the right, but yet something occurred in their lives with regards to racial profiling. I want to say this is a serious issue. This is something that's been plaguing our communities for years. Son bagay ka pase nou depuis longtemps.
For decades, right?
Ou kapab son chauffeur taxi que vous ou just chita koto ye et puis kounya you just capable de comme ça pour move. Comme monsieur, chauffeur taxi yo capable de bien tout comme ça que yo passe misère ça. I remember there was a young man. He was walking. He used to be a big time track runner. And he moved to Orangeburg in Pearl River. So I think the year before last. He said that the police stopped him. He brought this to my attention. He said that the police stopped him because they said he was just walking around. And he said, I live here. He said, what's the matter, officer? He said, somebody complained that you were walking. He said, I'm allowed to walk. So again, that were that this young man was being challenged. I remember I had my car parked in Nyack one day, and because of the car that I was driving, and the officer probably about 3 years ago, so he stopped me, and he was about to leave when he saw the car, but for some particular reason, he said to himself, I don't know, you wanted to just pull this car over. And I was prepared for him. When he pulled me over, you know, he pretty much said to me, I said, why'd you pull me over? He said, it looked like your light is not working. I said, it does work. So I said, I came out the car and I showed him. Then he persisted and he asked me, what kind of job do you have? Because I drive a BMW. That's why you stopping me. And so, didn't get a ticket, of course, because I challenged him.
But does he even have the right to ask you this kind of question?
All I did was I asked him for his badge number, his name, and everything like that, and I did address it with his chief, of course. This particular situation happened to me in Brooklyn with the same exact car. And the police officer was driving this way, and I'm on the other side of the road. And she pulls me over. She tells me that your tints are illegal. I said, first of all, my tints are not illegal. And if they were, I do have the right to have them as such. And I told her, I just want you to know that I know that you're doing racial profiling right now. Again, she went about her business. I rented a car. I was out in Far Rockaway visiting my son. My plates said Jersey on them. And the officer was going the opposite way. And she turned around, well, they turned around and said that, I forgot what they said, but I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to take you to court. Because I guarantee you're stopping me because my plates sit in Jersey. I went to court. When I got there for the same specific police officer, for another person that was driving another car with Pennsylvania plates, he did the same thing to this car. The judge realized that what he was doing was racial profiling.
That's crazy.
I said, Judge, and he did the same exact thing to me too. And by the way, I'm from New York. And my plates were from, it was a rental car from Enterprise. And he realized that this is what was happening. Look, the bottom line is, I'm grateful that this particular year, there's us as black people that we stood up for what is right, and that's for fair justice. I want us to be able to sit at the table, and this is why I'm running, because you have to understand, if you and I don't go out to vote, these situations, you have toujours continuer. C'est dans vote nous bagay yo ye. Nous pas ka brete comme ça pour nous pas voter. Vote nous important. Nous pas ka chita sous vote yo pour nous dire comme ça, that's my vote, I'm not going to go vote. Well, when you don't go and vote, these things happen.
But some folks are saying that there is some type of hypocrisy because, like, so many black people are killing other black people, but they never raise that, let's say, this issue.
Today, we're talking about one man that, when that man was laying on the ground, that was me. That was you. Didn't matter if you was a white man, whatever. That was your human being. So today we are talking about the human being mistreated, and being black in America should not be a death sentence for being black in America. Should not be a death sentence for human beings in America. So that is what we're arguing. For decades, for ages, mankind has always been fighting. You know, as a little boy, boys fight. That's what they do, right? Yes? Girls, yes, they fight. So when you see that they're saying that, you know, I don't want to take away from the focus. The focus is George Floyd should have never died.
So like police brutality, right?
Police brutality, mind you, I mean, I can tell you, we have some awesome police officers out there. I listen, during these riots, I saw police officers getting on their knees. And to show, listen, I'm human too. They would say, I don't stand for that. When those folks, they have nothing to do with this dialogue. But this particular dialogue are for those officers and those who are in line of justice that abuses the power.
But
no man is above reproach. That goes for the president and so on.
But what do you think about like some intruders? Because like some of the people, they tend to divert basically the focus, because the emphasis should be like a protesting against police brutality, like undue force, excessive force. But for some reason, a lot of people they let's say they put fires on some houses or like businesses, and if we discussing regarding our community, but like when I do that, what's gonna happen? My dad or my mom or my cousin or my siblings, they're gonna be jobless. So what is your saying about that?
Well, let me just say this though. COVID-19 has left a mental blockage on a lot of folks. Folks are suffering. We have so many jobless folks in America today. These folks have been quarantined for months as we're entering 96 days and plus, so to speak, in this very United States. So the stress level has been so high. Moun yo pa kon sa pou yo fè avèk koyo. Men yo joun an opportunity pou yo kite kote ke yo ye pou yo soti juste New Jersey entre Florida. Soti juste Florida entre New York. Soti California. So you have folks that are leaving their towns to come into our homes to say, you know what? I see what this is all about, but I have a different agenda. Those folks have nothing to do with the protests.
Oh, okay.
We cannot control those folks because we can't pay. They look like us. I mean, there was some group of folks they're folks that care so much. They were protecting your business. They didn't want folks to actually destroy them. So you're gonna have that in protest. You're gonna have looters. They're here. But during the COVID, I saw folks in Mexico doing that because this is what people do because they have need. The real issue is we have been bonded for such a long time, and folks sought an opportunity to say until justice is served, we're not going to stop. We do not condone any of those negative things. But a protest, absolutely. I can tell you I was out there yesterday in Spring Valley. We marched from the municipality. We marched all the way downtown to the park, and we had a visual there. It was a very sad moment, but this was an important moment for our people to come together. White people, black people, brown people, Spanish people, as black as you and I are. But they were there. Latinos, they were there. We were there on one accord for one purpose: justice, liberty, and not to even mention for George Floyd and his family. Did you know that George Floyd's family, George Floyd get more than enough in Kisoti Spring Valley? I've never been county here.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
If you saw the picture, there's over 15. Spring Valley, we have about 15 or more residents from Spring Valley that are part of the Floyd family. And I want to say to them, if they're listening, my sincere condolences to you. I am so glad that I came out there yesterday to be with those folks. But again, let's not forget, Problème ça son problème que cap toujours été côté lié en est-ce que nous sortis de que nous voter nous courir pour office Trustee Francois t'es couru pour office parce que gon monde qui te voyait mais parce que dit comme ça moi je courir mais aller des moun aller depuis plus now Trustee a décidé que dans local level il décidé que you know what chaque année notre courir pour local level now
we decide
to expand pour la première fois que si que nous te gagné en position comme ça que nous pouvons jamais gagner un élu qui vivait dans New York State Senate dans Rockland County avec Westchester. Mes amis, c'est un problème qui concerne nous-mêmes si on va aller dans Rockland County là. Ça c'est sénateur College. Si on pas qu'à jeune, qui est-ce qu'on relève? C'est pas Trustee François qui a demandé? Oui. Si ça c'est il y a besoin pour Congress là, il y a besoin comme c'est like visa yo. Il n'y a pas qu'à jeune, il y a besoin d'aller dans appartement dans White Plains. Si il n'y a pas qu'à jeune office là ou bien si il n'y a pas qu'à jeune monde qui représente l'autre bois, qui va pour y aller. Mais qu'on y a nous avons opportunité pour nous en force en dedans.
Ok, et nous allons retourner sur tout à l'heure et nous gagnons soulignement et Radio Génération 2000, bonsoir.
Bonjour à tous. Et Eudson, I want to welcome you to the radio and to the show. TOUCHE.
Thank you.
Quick point I want to make for one, lors du mouvement Eudson et what to do with black on black crime, or yet we said Black Lives Matter. Fourth is that when Frick shoot a innocent person, what happens? Frick gets arrested, Frick gets judged in a court of law, gets convicted and served whatever the term is in prison. But let police guy live. He fait ça, he fell wrong, non seulement he been he still, he just gets home with, either he's suspended for a witch day for a couple of days, and then
back to work.
Like, that's nothing happened. Let's see on noir peut-être a dit nos bagages, il fait vivre bon. On va payer les conséquences.
Ok.
Nous-mêmes, les nouvelles, nous payons les conséquences. Nous-mêmes, les offres, nous faisons
D'accord. Ok.
So,
ok, bien content ou lever point ça et parce que je pense que il y a un peu de monde qui t'a posé cette question ça. Il a parlé de l'hypocrisie, ça moi mentionné. Alors, comme on vient avec un point qui est vraiment important et un point qui soulevé, ça n'a pas parlé à tout. Et je pense que ça sont belle approche liée et il est très convaincant.
okay. So, on va dire ça.
C'est que médias avec information qui est importante avec le niveau de parole. Moi-même, moi, ni Trustee Francois, ni Tyson avec les informations par eux, et que je parle de la radio, je parle de médias. Donc, c'est que c'est tout. Je nous connecter avec la communauté noire, c'est la radio. Ma formative, on peut nous connecter avec la communauté haïtienne. Nous connecter dans la radio, et ensuite, pour avoir appelé les films, même pas de ça qui a passé. Ensuite, pour ne pas que ça qui a passé, il va être monnaie. Donc, si nous avons une communauté parlant, on est en train de bagaille, de capacité, de nous-mêmes. Pas même François a vu une personne, non, mais il a eu des nous ou des sacrés, il a eu des nous, faire des choses à passer, on est tout ça, faire travail là, mais laissez ouais, soit les touristes, là, on peut faire américain avec moi, parce que ça m'a semblé une bonne organisation qui est sous nous, qui fait le connaître. Mais nous-mêmes, nous ne pas de nous pas de ça. Nous avons une information au nous. Nous avons une information au nous, nous avons fait passer. Et mon lobby m'a dit c'est que c'est une de l'autre. Si nous avons une chose qui François, là où nous exactement là où les informations comme ça que nous connaissons, supposé vivre pour nous avec ce que nous avons, nous supposé additionner sur l'agenda pour faire connaître que nous supposons informer la radio avec information pour contrôler nous ça des infos.
Important ça.
Agenda pour faire commerce et pour nous passer pour nous. Ça fait tout le monde et tout le monde bénéficier.
Pour tout le monde capable au courant de l'activité.
So,
Okay.
so
We're gonna try to refocus direct basically the interview.
So let me just say something.
Okay, go ahead.
So premièrement, Fritz, merci beaucoup pour cette invitation au sûr. So m'dale me dire comme ça que ça en fait ce dit là, son bagage réel lié. Nous avons bravo 100%, 100%, 1000%. Et beaucoup de fois, je suis courir des magistrats ou bien monde qui est en charge pour community development là. C'est bagage Fritz capable d'où que moi try pour me get you involved avec Haïtien communauté. Première fois, nous fait entrer dans l'office là. Ils ont montré tout journal plus qu'un monsieur qui déjà travaille dedans. Et puis ils balé, ils mettaient information elle sonne là. Je dis non. Vous déjà travaillez dedans, nous pas qu'à payer pour faire ça. Je dis côté Haiti info. Et haïtien, comment on peut faire? On va avoir un newspaper en dedans qui travaille, mais pas haïtien. Année ça, pour nous recommencer l'année, Haiti info pas la donner. Elle mettez. So tout à l'heure, one second. So ça, Fritz fait dire, son bagage qui est très important pour y arriver. Son bagage qui est important. So chaque affaire, yo dit oh oui, yo gen moun pa yo. M'pa bon menti non, m'pa dit non bagage qui sérieux que me fâche avec yo le faire. Yo pas utiliser moi. So les font bagage dans village directement yo gen moun pa yo. Pas vrai? So yo ça fait yo pral relé une personne que yo connaît qui connecté avec et ville de Spring Valley. Ça se fait du drapeau tout ça yo. Yo pas jamais inclure Trustee François là-dedans. Même là que a fait ça, considérez que peut-être même quitté Trustee a même arrivé pour ta même parler pendant faire ça. Ça pas arrivé. So ça m'a montré l'inclusion pour nous faire ensemble. Il va jamais arriver. T'as un dernier point m'dire. M'pas pas mentir. Depuis l'Elium pour chambre chaque les juifs ont besoin de bagaille. Ils viennent chercher qu'on est. Ils viennent dans board meeting dans demander pour ça le besoin. Moi toujours dit peuple haïtien nous venir dans meeting là. Parce que leur venir, il fait travail moi plus facile parce que je suis capable de dire ah ouais, on est backup. Ma balle ça nous mais c'est ça yo demandé.
But the thing is comme si pour yo capable venir faut go invite.
Non, c'est pas vrai. C'est pas vrai.
Qui lance right?
Tantôt c'est pas vrai. Tout le monde connaît exactement qui les board meeting là, not only que les website. Ça sont bagage des fois. Ça sont bagage que m'a bataille avec peuple pour plus que 2 ans.
Mais t'as le talent.
T'as des fois. Ça m'pas moi m'pas vouloir défendre because ça fait bagage qui
mais ça me t'as dit ça m'a dit là. Excusez, mais ça me plaît Joe. Pas oublier qui peuple nous gagne. Yo li mais en communication comme qui est très important, c'est audio. On pas dire comme si vous allez dire comme si chaque temps mais qu'il est game meeting. Mais at least faire reconnaître à travers pas dans la radio faire connaître à travers les réseaux sociaux.
Question
Telle semaine, vous avez bon
de communication.
C'est-à-dire parce que you want it for Senate, so we don't want the same thing to happen. Okay.
So
we don't want the same thing. We don't want the same thing to happen, though. You see, you understand? So we have to acknowledge that we have done that wrong, or like if there is a lack of communication, then and to address it accordingly. So let's take this as an opportunity to see, okay, this is my weakness. I'm gonna make sure I fulfill that loophole, so the next time it doesn't happen. Mais après, vous ne pouvez pas arrêter sur ça, parce que vous ne pas parler là,
c'est clair ça avec le peuple là. Pas grand monde là qui était dans le village là, qui pas connaît, juste pour montrer, chaque 2 semaines, à 8 heures, il y a un board meeting. Mais mon frère, si on connaît un board meeting là, ça se met dans le cœur, vous entendez? Si il y a pas de hole dans la rue, on va casser même moi pour aller pour dire mal bataille pour. Attendez, on va pas montrer. Mais, si vous venez en foule avec votre monde et pour venir dire ça, lorsque vous déjà dit, oui, on connaît. Qu'on y a même l'envie de dans boîte là, mes amis, qu'on y a bon plus pouvoir. T'es dans l'église haïtienne qui a un problème. Vous venez avec presque tout le monde de l'église là. Soit pas s'écrire. Le jeune ça a des besoins là, oui? Ça dit? Mais il a fait commencer. Les jeunes ça ont besoin. Qui sont passés à faire après ça? Ils ont levé à aller. Je me dis, waouh! Moi, les pasteurs me disent, non, pas qu'à faire ça. Ou adresser les problèmes dans l'église, ou adresser les problèmes qui passent dans la rue. Il y a d'autres problèmes. Sauf arrêter.
Communication de jeu.
Hein?
Manque de communication.
Attendez. C'est pas bagarre que.
Mais nous parlons de sous-communication.
Et parler avec lui, moi par là, avec lui déjà.
Déjà.
Merci beaucoup, mon frère, merci. Yep.
À qui la donation ça a commencé déjà?
Absolutely. Love you. Yes. Absolutely.
Wherever God leads you, whatever your journey is, keep us in mind because Lord knows we need it.
Amen.
Best of luck to you in anything that you do, my brother.
Thank you so much. First, I appreciate your whole entire family. I appreciate your brothers, well, everyone, and God bless you.
Oui, et merci un peu de DGA.
Oui, nous avons une possibilité pour nous rentrer exactement pour nous rentrer dans le débat, même débat, parce que il a fait nos défauts, allez non, Donald.
Oui, parce que si on fait brancher radio à tout, et il y a toujours demain Simon Devlé, et dans 83 South Main Street, et Spring Valley, a une grande distribution, et qui part donné par Eudson Francois, et comme nous toujours fait dans la radio, demain samedi, il y a un monde qui a toujours relé à partir de 1h qui vient chercher kit pour là. c'est comme ça toujours fait dans la radio Génération 2000 et service là et communauté a connaît nous toujours là. Radio Génération 2000 toujours là pour servir population, pour servir monde dans la communauté a. Et son travail qu'il a fait, un travail, nous capable de dire un travail qui n'a pas de prix, nous toujours féliciter et tout staff technique Radio Génération 2000 et puis tout le monde qui va appuyer tout et pour activité ça et réaliser activité de distribution ça pour le réaliser. Et question là c'est qui s'allie François et nous connaissons n'a posé et nous capable de dire Eudson François ou c'est current Trustee of Spring Valley Kounia. Et qui raison qui pousse ou, qui raison qui motive ou pour franchir toutes les vols ça sortir dans Trustee pour aller courir pour Sénat.
Bon, premièrement, merci encore et une bonne fête, M. Donald. Et pas oublier que moi, je suis un législateur que moi. Et pas oublier que moi, je suis I'm a legislator. So whether you are in Congress, legislate. So I just want you to understand one thing, que as a legislator que moi, tout ça que state là gagne, il va jamais passer là, non? Ça a gagné 2 ans. Dit sénateur, you're doing a good job. But mon ça va pas toucher peuple haïtien, même si vous représentez. Vous avez quand même monde qui représente comme haïtien qui est capable de parler avec haïtien. Nous passons dans l'église, une dame qui vient sur nous, dit que ça a besoin de travail. Ma bon matin, dans l'école. Les jeunes travaillent, ils demandent. Il y a 3 mois qui travaillent comme haïtiens. So, l'on réfléchit de tout problème que nous connaissons, que c'est TPS, immigration, affordable housing, qui dernière fois, on est un monde noir qui représente Rockland County avec Westchester, qui chita dans New York State, qui législate. On bagaille que, hey, net si Spring Valley là, oui. Non, Spring Valley est capable de tourner un gros Spring Valley. Ne peut pas jamais gagner une représentation ça. Chaque temps, je passe à Albany dans le même comité, toujours avec le gouverneur, de compte qui bon mieux. Il y a 63 sénateurs. Chaque fois, il y a Haiti Unity Day, mal en haut, mal célébré. Mais en même temps, Spring Valley est exactement côté lié. Tout ça passé par des no-city, côté tout le monde blanc était là. Meanwhile, il y a un blanc qui a couru, il dit comme ça que, et si je suis capable d'aider, pour montrer ça qui motive là, je suis sûr que je vais courir. Je ne connais pas place à la ville comme ça. So, l'élément d'aider, il dit comme ça, et si je suis capable, ou qu'à aller aider moi pour mal faire connaissance avec le monde que, you know, community là, il me dit, dans le cœur, il me dit, monsieur, ça dans la même position avec moi. Il dit juste dans Yak. Mais même moi déjà là, déjà. Et c'est toi que je tout. Pour qui ça que je ne suis même pas capable? Pour qui ça que je ne peux pas représenter le peuple? J'ai une passion pour moi servir le peuple. Moi, je ne servir. Pour qui ça, chaise là, available. Pour qui ça, why not us? Mais mes amis, si je travaille pour McDonald's, je dis à me faire commencer. Souvent, mon petit temps dans le travail pour McDonald's là. Mais comme ça pour me faire, oui. Ça c'est pour tout le monde, que le président, n'importe monde, capable de faire, n'importe ça que je mette sur l'idée pour faire. So moi-même, moi, carrément, pour me représenter State of New York, donc côté fair representation pour tout le monde. Ça fait un bagage qui t'a privé pour la première fois, sorti là dans Rockland County.
Ça veut dire, Eudson François, retrouver nous-mêmes et haïtiens, ou bien communauté suivante, ou bien tout l'autre bloc qui a desservi pendant Trustee, pas de représentant.
Ouais, mon frère, si il y a un représentant, representation, then, comment faire que chaque situation, moi toujours dans mes temps, I'm the middleman. Vous comprenez ça, Abdullah? C'est pas pour nous pas qu'un sénateur comme l'autre, non, c'est pas ça, non. But I become the middleman because que c'est facile pour me traduire faiblesse, non.
You become the core.
Exactly. So Kunyao now, for me to become a state senator, being a black man of African Haitian descent, in light of everything that's going on with George Floyd, it's a perfect opportunity for us to have an inclusivity representation that will fit, that will understand the need of people from everywhere, from anywhere.
But like, I have a question. Since you brought that up, you are currently a trustee. What have you legislated so far?
Well,
That will have an impact on our community.
Let me just say this. That's why I say to our people, they must come to the board meeting. What I'm about to say to you, it's off course, but it's on course. Your vote determines everything, right? You vote, you have a voice. Our board consists of 5 people. If the 3 of us can get a yes, there is no legislation. So for 2.5 years, I've been sitting on that board, fighting the fight, putting up a fight. But I've only had 1 or 2, which is me and one of my trustees that was there. So unless you have the 3 voice, it won't be no legislation.
But what I'm saying is, fighting over a cause. But what was it, basically?
So we have fought, as I'm going into, which is one of my major concerns, is probably the top concern of mine, and probably will forever be, as long as we're living in the state of New York, as it pertains to our residents, is affordable housing. Gotta tell you, it's not easy. We're growing. Our population is more than 70,000. And where on paper, it stated it had over 36,000, 31,000. I'm willing to bet that we're closer to 100,000 because we have a large population of folks who do not fill the census. And let me say how important it is to do so. So I want to say to you, as it pertains to affordable housing, you have to understand we don't have that much place to put these places in, even when we do have them. These are major contractors and owners, and they seem to find ways to build them where they can do whatever they want. But we've put stipulation on that, where now, when you build, you have to have a certain percentage of affordable housing. So you can't just build from you. Ou pas juste bâtir une maison kounya, so pas mettre un certain percentage là-dedans for affordable housing. Ou ka vin devant moi, ou you're going to give me 2. Mais I fight for 10. I fight for 15. I fight for 20. And when I say 2, I mean 2. This is a big fight. I have a lot of people right now who are sleeping at a friend's house, in cars, on the streets.
I know it's
this is a bad situation that we're facing here, and this is not just a Spring Valley issue.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know it's excruciatingly painful to see our brother or sisters like sleeping in a car, and then they are homeless. Sometimes they're begging for food, and that's very sad. But like when we talk about community, we see it at large, and we see more than that. Let's say, for instance, as a trustee, you said earlier the main issue is because we don't come to represent you.
Not me. You.
Okay.
They come represent themselves.
Okay, themselves.
What they see. Yeah.
We don't come to represent ourselves.
Yeah.
So therefore, since we voted you, what basically is the main thing to do right now, since you see the issue? Because an issue that's been seen, it's halfly addressed, right? So
you missed the point.
Let me complete what I'm saying. So therefore, you see the needs of the community. Can you please relate them to the entire listeners?
Let me go back and say this to you. If you don't come to the board meeting and voice your opinion, you have no voice. If you don't vote, you have no voice. You gotta come to the board meeting. I have a lot of parents who sit at home. There should be a PTA meetings. PTA meetings for their children.
Okay, can you please define what PTA stand for?
Okay, PTA is Parent Teacher Association.
Okay.
So, which means that it's parents and teachers basically bringing up the causes that it pertains to the student and the teacher relation with the school. So, and I'm a part of all of that. But my point is, our community, we don't attend PTA meetings.
But
hold on,
they don't know.
Hold on, that's not true. Listen, I don't want to defend them. I don't want you to defend them.
I'm not.
Just watch this. Do you have a child in the school?
No.
Right. You should be going, but because you don't have a child in the school, you think you shouldn't go. Hold on. The mother, the father who has a child in the school, they sent information in his or her language to come. I even give you one better. The child is having a football game. The child invite mother and father to come.
They don't come.
They don't come. They come to graduation
That's true.
only.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
What?
Since you mentioned that,
No, that's
so like, okay, they come to the graduation, okay, but like the type of invite, how is it written? Is it Creole or?
I already addressed that.
Okay.
Every school addresses. They have a recording system. They have everything that goes out. We have people that work in the school system in East Ramapo that addresses the needs. They speak the language of that family.
Even when they call you on the phone.
They call you on the phone, and they have a system. They have a system situation where it's put in place where if you need something in terms of understanding, speaking the language, they do. But let's be realistic. I'm being real to you. Our people are lazy. When I say people, our residents, all our residents, we need to go out and vote.
So like now they know they are being lazy and they're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. That doesn't happen again. But to come back to the question that was previously asked to you, so I told you what are the needs of the community. Since you are like a current trustee, I'm pretty sure that you see exactly what are the needs.
Well,
what the needs are.
I'll tell you some things I may not see. I may see you don't see. Some things you may see I don't see. It's a community effort. It's a community effort.
I agree.
You know there's this saying, community watch. I know in my Bible it tells me that I'm a watchman. That means that if there's a hole right here, you don't know that there's a hole there. My responsibility to tell you, if you fall in that hole, you're not to be blamed, I'm to be blamed. So what I'm saying is, well, we as a community has got to come together, and you said that before. So we have to come, that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. And we have to not sit. We need to stand up and march, and how can I put this? In terms of waiting for me to come bring it to you, you have to have.
Come get it. We should be go getter.
Go get it. Let me give you an example. Instead of me feeding you a silver spoon, I shouldn't have to give you the plate. But if I provide you with a plate, you can feed yourself. But one thing is, I believe in motivating people, putting life into our people, which is very, very important. Another thing is, I'd like to see our communities become homeowners. We rent a lot, it's okay. But if your credit is right, I'd like to see us start to own stuff. Because when you start to own stuff, we're not leaving and going anywhere. Because just because you rent, if that landlord said they don't want you,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. Where are you moving? Down there. And guess what? You just moved down there. You just moved down there. Before you know it, now we're down to 50 people. Now when it's time to vote, we needed 70. Now we don't have that anymore. So that's important. I realize that in terms of voting, I want to keep reiterating that we sit on our votes.
Okay, but I wanna have a standpoint. Let's say, for instance, like as human beings, we being most of the time insatiable, we are not satisfied. But like for instance, me, when I was talking about the needs of our community, I'm pretty sure like so many residents of Spring Valley, they've come to you and complain regarding some issues. And then that's exactly why I would like you to at least Because if you run for something, you have to see the issue first. And unless I'm pretty sure you have an agenda. And on that agenda, I know there are some of it you may relate or not, but because you are in competition. I truly understand and I wholeheartedly agree with you. But what I'm saying is, we have policies that's supposed to be that's supposed to take in place. We have, like, let's say we have a major issue on taxes, and there is even the GMLS, which is the general municipal law, that, like, a lot of residents, they complain regarding a violation, the general municipal law. They complain regarding like constructions. There are like there are some issues that's been occurring. And then what can you say about that? Like,
well, the thing is, before I say it, why don't you give me, what is the issue they're complaining? Key issue que yep là. Bon for example. Construction is construction. I can't stop construction. But during COVID-19, we were on a pause. If I did see someone that was doing construction that was in violation, we stopped them. That's what we do. We send it to the health department or my guys, my building department. I sent them out to do their job, and they did. But I don't like the fact that we have 80 construction in Little Spring Valley at the same time. I think it affects our traffic flow. It does. Un pile fatra la poussé à monter sur tout le monde tout le temps. Route a crasé. C'est plus sous ça que on leur penser des construction là que nous capable parler que aux jeunes en pile les monde yo fouillé tout. Les couvrir tout, il pas bien couvrir, yes or no? No, yes, and that's something that I've been working on. We've improved within the last 8 months where we're fixing those roads in terms of those people, and we're holding them accountable. And when they don't fix the road, right, we're finding them. They have to, that's their job, to make sure that the road is put back exactly the way they found it.
What about the big building they made without parking lot?
Now, you have to understand, there's a planning board, there's a zoning board. The things that come on my desk, to my team, are things that relate to that needs a special permit, right?
Okay.
Sometimes that's not the case. Most of the time we don't see that. I do my own evaluation, and this is one of my major concerns that I put devant you. So what we did is we brought both the planning and the zoning together. We expressed that to them, okay? Because I want to see these homes be assessed properly to make sure we get the proper taxes for them. Because I don't want to see this little house paying this much and this big house is paying that much. So these things are very, very important as it pertains to construction, of course.
so as a owner for, like, Senate, what can you say regarding the total of law? Let's say, for instance, if we're talking about criminality, we know exactly what impact it can have, like, hugely in a community, and that impact is very bad. So, in terms of statutory, what can you say regarding the criminal, like, or the tort of law?
Well, you know, the one thing I can say to you with regards to what is currently happening, we just need to fix our justice system all throughout the entire country. It's not a New York thing. It's not a Spring Valley thing. We need to fix it completely. And there's some good things and there's some bad things. But overall, our justice system can do a major makeover. And that's the honest answer for any particular issue that's going on.
I saw you were, like, to come back. I saw you were on social network protesting against that painful situation, like George Floyd, the death of George Floyd.
Yeah.
So if you protest, I think you have a reason behind it. And then, as politician, as a let's say potential candidate for Senate. So do you have any bill that's already written and where you plan to act upon it? And
no, we don't have any bill that's written, but we, in terms of platform, it's early stages right now. Listen,
okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If there were anything that I would be writing, would have to do with healthcare. I'm not gonna lie to you, because of the simple fact that we have seen in terms of the COVID-19. We've seen a lot of stuff with the this pandemic, how it affected the African American community at large and the Latino community, from the disparity in terms of how, you know, the way that we are working, we're in the front line doing everything all the time, and to see that in terms of our pre-existing conditions in life, how this particular pandemic has affected us. We need to take heed to that, and we need to help improve on our healthcare system, and in so doing, a lot of us didn't see this, but our frontline workers, like the hospital employees, the nurses, the doctors, my God, did this pandemic ever expose the fact that they have basically been mistreated in terms of how they go about receiving their compensation? Of course, this has been a problem. Of course, supplies, PPE supplies, and so on.
So, let's say, for instance, you said that you're gonna focus on the health, okay, right, the health system. But do you think that's gonna create some type of discrepancy? Because if you protest and you will be representing us. So, and if you protest and then you say justice should be served, but like once you are on board, the job should have been basically to work on that as well, right? So therefore, like, if you only focus on the health system, what about the others?
No, but we just focused because we remember the COVID-19 is something that's a problem right now.
Yeah.
So I was just addressing that as it pertains to such. There's so many other things that we could talk about, but I just wanted to touch on that because you know, again, I did touch on affordable housing. I don't think I need to talk about that anymore because I said it's not just a Spring Valley thing. It's just something that needs to, you know, tenant rights. I got to tell you right now, that's something that's a separate category, but it's part of affordable housing a little bit. The reason why, even though we've been going through this pandemic and a lot of landlords have tried to push their tenants out right now during COVID.
And I can tell you as well, based on true fact, do you know in Spring Valley there are some tenants, they live in let's say they live in a building or an apartment where they park in their own parking spot and their car got towed several times. So like, do you know, like, I know it's not basically you're part of it.
No, but, I'm not part of it.
But no, I know.
I'm not part of that at all.
I'm pretty sure like this issue has been now escalated, and there is no address, like there is no recovery for it. So since you know that issue, and I'm pretty sure you know because you just smiled.
Because I'm about to tell you something.
Okay, just let it slide.
Let me just say this. I'm, you know, unless you bring up a specific, I may not remember to bring everything out because my mind is so much going on.
That's what I'm here for.
So last Thursday, a good friend of mine I grew up with, we were on track, and former best friend called me, and he caught 2 strokes. Okay, I want to put that, and he's pretty much not working, but he lives in one of the housing authority right here in Spring Valley. His father just gave him a car. Okay. And Thursday morning he called me and said my car at 10:30 was towed, and I needed $300. I was like, I'll see you in about 45 minutes. I picked him up. We went to the facility, and I just simply asked him a question. I said, let me ask you a question. What time do you guys tow the cars here on the facility here on the complex? It was like at night. And sometimes, you know, I said, so let me ask you, if that's the case, then why was his car towed at 10:30? Why did they target him? Because, well, they was like, well, because he didn't transfer the information. I said, do you not know this is COVID-19 situation right now? So both myself and after having spoken to the mayor and addressing this issue, not just for him, for all the complex, and before I leave office, whenever, even if never in office, this is something that will continue to fight. The Meadow Lanes has this issue. Park Towers, Fletcher has this issue. Fletcher has this issue like I don't know. Anywhere they have this. Slyn has this issue. 24 West Street has this issue. Cornell has this issue. There's issues all up and down Kennedy.
Spring Valley Commons.
Spring Valley Commons. The Heights has this issue. But the only people that are calling me on this issue has been this particular young man and Medellin. I can't tell you, if 5 people call me, 5 people got their cars back. If 5 people gave money, 5 people got all that money back. So I'm fighting. You may not see that, but it's up to them. Just like Jesus. He healed someone, he told them don't say nothing about it, but they went and did. I like when our community goes out there and say what's going on, but to just finish on that, this is a major issue. That man's not working. $300. I was prepared to pay for him. But I know, since I was little, I was wanting to be a lawyer. I was going to fight for this man and make sure that he gets his car back. Because it's COVID. We're supposed to have some type of leniency and understanding. And that's why I try to make... I want to say this to our listeners. Si nous avons un problème, nous allons aller Trustee Francois. Si l'autre nous a dit pour nous payer pour le moment, pas oublier, nous avons comme si suspension, comme si like que côté que nous capables et dire mon comme ça, si nous pas capable payer, pas courir sur dehors si que ça faut que nous mettez nous dehors, personne pas capable mettre nous dehors kounya. Pas go que you guys can't be evicted right now. So si go monde capable essayer dire nous comme ça que pour nous quitter caille nous, li très important pour nous dire mon ça que you know what, nous capable aller dans legal aid là. Mais si nous pas capable jouer personne dans legal aid là, s'il vous plaît, please go les Trustee François. Parce que les nouvelles Trustee François, moi sûr que Trustee même après les autres bord pour nous. Moi c'est advocate nous, mais c'est avocat nous. M'a pédé nous. Nous pas gagner avocat, m'a chercher avocat pour nous. Nous pas payer avocat, m'a chercher travail avec nous, no matter what. So concern que nous ça yo là, il pas de travail. Il pas de côté priorité. Il pas même capable afford pour aller acheter au market même. Il pas capable. Il pas pour le moment, pour les derniers 2.5 months, peuple haïtien a souffert, peuple Springville a souffert, peuple New York là a souffert. Ce travail là, c'est un gros travail. Mais imaginons mon frère, ou t'es qu'un relève, ou t'es qu'un mandem, et service là dans le local là. Mes amis, imaginons sénateur François, qui est là, qui était avec nous déjà, qui can servi nous mes amis. Quand il y a un nouveau office là, l'esprit valeur, ou quand il y a un office là, c'est ça qui va arriver, ma bon exemple. Tout bagage ça est possible, mais pour moi, c'est fini. Son bagage, j'ai besoin de 10 peuples là, qui est très important, m'a tout mettre dehors et concerner des monde qui pas payer rent yo. So for those of you guys that are not able to pay rent, there's a rent assistance program, please, right? Very important. I'll send you the information. I want to bring it publicly first to the radio. I've put it on my, I think my social media. Rockland Housing Action Coalition, okay, is offering, okay, assistance for individuals who are unable to pay their rent due to COVID-19. If so be it, located at 120-126. So si nous pas qu'à payer rent nous, peut-être COVID-19 là, Rockland Housing Action Coalition Incorporated qui dans 120-126 North Main Street dans New City dans first floor dans annex là. Nous capable de Jerry Levy l'autre bois. Numéro de téléphone là c'est 845 708 5799. So I will say this in English one more time. Si you have a problem, if you have problem paying your rent currently due to COVID-19, you can contact the folks at the Rockland Housing Action Coalition. They're located at 120-126 North Main Street at the Annex in New City on the first floor. The phone number is 845-708-5799.
Numéro téléphone en créole.
On bat de créole. Ok, pardon. Numéro de téléphone c'est
845 708 57 99.
Si mon n'a pas problème.
Si vous avez un problème pour payer pendant la période de COVID-19, vous pouvez toujours aller dans New City, c'est 120 et 120-126 North Main Street, New City, first floor. Et puis, vous pouvez toujours aller dans 845 708 57 99 et puis vous juste parler. Et puis, si vous avez une possibilité pour servir, vous êtes capable de servir.
Ok, on m'a fait parler.
Oui, il y a une audition, il faut parler avant.
Et Radio Génération 2000, bonsoir, on a fait rapide parce que le a fait nos défauts.
Bonsoir.
Oui, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Good job, very good job, but so la film is complex, you buy stuff, for the question. That's why they call me, about the choice to call you to,
Okay.
further, you know what I'm saying? You're going to para Trustee, so you're going to get kissed with Trustee, you're going to pack out again, so what about inviter?
Nous avons invité d'abord, mais tu n'as pas oublié comme si son débat, nous avons fait interview après ça, comme si question pas ouverte. Nous avons une petite extension tout petit qui est par exemple approuvé par DG nous. Alors, pas de problème, nous avons juste fini avec le débat d'abord, interview d'abord, après ça, nous avons posé des questions. C'est vrai comme si l'heure a fait nos défauts? Yeah. So, non, sens, pas de problème. Pas de problème. C'est une raison. Ok, d'accord.
Téléphone c'est 847 419 1825.
Téléphone c'est 845 419 1825 si vous voulez participer après le débat, après l'interview, parce que nous ne voulons pas perdre l'idée. Ok, et Francois Tyson, Eudson Francois Tyson. I remember you said that you're gonna discuss the issue, the health system issue, right? But like, according to some experts in politics, this issue can only be raised. It's actually on a federal level. So the only thing that can be done is actually, je pense que c'est aide, Medicaid. Est-ce que premièrement, vous pensez que vous êtes capable répondre avec problème ça vraiment qui posé parce que vous allez nous vendre first et Senate?
Well, dis mon nom, dit merci beaucoup, mais premièrement, faire connaître que pas oublier que moi sorti dans bagage santé. So ça sont bagage qui est très important. So concernant des haïtiens qui pas comprendre que comment qu'elle est très important pour yo address santé yo dans bagage COVID-19 plus nous pété en pile en pile monde.
Est-ce que c'est COVID-19 spécifiquement on va parler ou bien comme si
c'est COVID-19 dans system health là.
Okay.
COVID-19 c'est un bagage qui est très important because li affecte New York, li affecte peuple haïtien. So ça sont bagage que from a healthcare perspective, li important que pour nous adresser. OK.
So gain des problèmes qui a fait face côté que Spring Valley actuellement là la font un problème la fait face avec un problème qui est crucial. On dit comme ça coup j'ai mentionné tout à l'heure mais nous pas gain chance parler sur lui. Il y a un peu de construction qu'a fait illégalement dans moment. Et
non pas une construction qu'a fait illégal.
Pas qu'une construction qu'a fait illégalement.
Principe ne doit pas respecter.
Même illégal si principe doit respecter.
Attendez, on nous dit ça. Moi même pour moi dit bagaille la vérité que je connais because moi si ça sur bord là. Pas grand monde qui est capable de lever, m'pa bon mentir. Soit pas dans l'état dans pour ça sont l'autre bagaille. Because pendant COVID-19 là, t'as un paquet là-dedans qui t'a fait travail. But j'ai joué une permission. Mais là, m'pa bon mentir. Chaque monde qui essaie de faire ça, nous fait stop. M'pa bon mentir, nous fait stop. So concernant des bagages construction, nous mettre quitter ça because et il pas dans domaine côté que nous capable contrôler unless que you know nous dit comme ça que ok nous pas bailler permission pour ça arriver jusqu'à ce but my God you get 3 votes là frère mieux.
Avant dernière question est-ce que vous capable de dire comme ça que qui sont et comment capable aider village Spring Valley par exemple, gen plus funding, and in terms of like, and as well like, those fund will be available as well to implement the social program that we have for our resident in the village.
Let me just say that in terms of funding, we want to look at the avenues of, first of all, educational funding, because everything is boiled down in our children. Our children, this is very, very important. So educational funding, like because we're talking about Spring Valley, you asked me for Spring Valley, we're talking about East Randolph School District, and being the fact that I'm on the Teacher Policy Committee board, I understand that, how important it is. But in addition, I know that there's something that the revitalization grant, I know that is something that is very important to revitalize our downtown, something that I really want. Actually, there is a grant that's out there for $10 million, right?
But what would you do to help them?
Well, on my end, the city would have to make they would have to make they would have to make a request for such. So it's all about the request, of course. But I'm letting you know, for me, for the village, it's pretty much funding for the youth, police initiative, and probably, if not one of the most important, is housing. Being able to put in circumstances where you can send funding for affordable housing. Because I'm telling you right now, when the money comes from the state, when the budget is passed, county. So when county decides to give its portion, and just that is, it just, may go to New City here, like Spring Valley may not get that much, but the senator position has its own budget. So, but I want to look into that as well. So, being able to work on the infrastructure of places that need it in both town of Ramapo, town of Clarkstown, town of Orangetown, and of course town of Ostinger will be one of my major focus in terms of funding, in terms of education. This is just not an East Ramapo thing. This is education, which is for all, but also putting programs in place for our young people, that they will have a place to go and enjoy themselves. Whether it's building a humongous facility, and just an example. And so, as working closely with the city, could you imagine this? You're the current mayor, you're the current trustee, you're the current mayor, you're the current trustee. I was just on the board with you. I'm now a senator. We've been working together. Now all of a sudden,
you know what's going on.
I know what's going on. I know what we've been through. So now it's easiest for you to have a relationship with me to actually get something done in terms of funding for our community. And I'm speaking as it pertains to all the 4 towns.
Okay, in order for you to urge the people to vote for you, because I feel like, to me now, I feel like it's a sense of urgency, because you're the only black that's running for Senate, 38th district. But at the same time, they want to know what should be. Okay, give them 3 reasons they should vote for you.
Well, I'll try to
be persuasive.
I'll try to give them 5 if I can. The first thing is because for the first time they will have an African Haitian American descent, that we can have a transparency of serving a servant to go up there and serve, that can see, smell, taste, and have an experience the reality of things that have taken place in our community, that can go and represent and sit at the dinner table as opposed to collecting the crumbs from the floor. We don't have to do that no more. If that has to be more motivation than that, then I don't know what else. In addition, as far as being able to relate, the doors are wide open to receive full service. What I mean by that is, there won't be no middleman. My doors will be open for those folks to receive. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Your vote matters. Your vote counts. But you've got to exercise your right to do so. As it pertains to our citizens, their taxes, finding a place to live, in terms of affordable housing, making our communities safer. These are some of the things that I truly believe that they don't need me to motivate them to go and vote, because the same problems that I have as a resident, I'm a resident, 1984. I'm a citizen that made a decision to go run for an office. I'm no different than any man. They don't have the time. I'm going to fight for them. I don't back down from no challenge, from no man. Let me say that one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I do not back down from a challenge. So that means that you see that I'm willing to go and advocate for our community. I'm willing to take whatever it takes to stand for them, not sleep on issues. We'll combat them. We'll fight. And everyone knows, everybody in the world that knows me, knows that I'm a very passionate, very caring, a loving Christian who loves Jesus Christ with all his heart. And I've always represented my community to the fullness of my capability. I will always do so without anything. So to me, I've given them enough for years. Now it's time to send me to go and represent and fight for them. I don't have to prove to them anything anymore. It's time. In light of what's taking place with COVID-19, George Floyd, fair representation, inclusivity, include me, include women, include black people in everything that we do, where we sit at, what we do, where we eat, what we work at. Being a CEO, whatever it is. M'pa besoin dire qui ça pour motiver peuple là pour yo faire encore. Yo condamné. Peuple haïtien, li là pour nous mettre tête nous ensemble pour nous connaître ça qui est important pour nous faire. Question de Trustee François, question de moi, c'est pas une raison qui pour pouvoir voter pour moi. Ligne vide, site là, chaise là vide. C'est ça même qui était. L'autre deux millions c'est étranger qui a venu dans la communauté noire. Nous pas capable d'accepter ça. Nous pas capable de mentir. Nous avons chance. Let Trustee Francois become New York State Senator. Senator Francois. All I have done is open up an opportunity for my son who's 17 to run for office. Your children. Let's do it. I'm going to vote Eudson, Tyson, Francois pour New York State Senator.
Trustee Village, Spring Valley, Eudson, Tyson, Francois a couru pour New York State Sénateur. Colorage Lambi, mobilisation, sonné tout haïtien dans Rockland County, Town of Ramapo, Town of Clarkstown, Town of Orange Town. Et aux environs, pour aller porter pour aller voter en foule, Eudson, Tyson, François pour sénateur. À cause de coronavirus là, un pile monde recevoir absentee ballot. Ça veut dire juste remplir, signer, tourner avant 16 juin, mais tout le DP Eudson, Tyson, François pour Sénat. Mardi 23 juin, ou qu'à voter aussi dans tous côtés, ou à venir voter. Voter Trustee Eudson, Tyson, François pour sénateur. Leur voter Eudson, Tyson, François, c'est voter plus travail dans le district. C'est voter un monde qui va aider les immigrants dans le 38e district. C'est aider plus de monde jouer assurance. C'est voter pour minimum wage monter. C'est voter un haïtien qui va aider dans le district. Je dis là, mardi 23 juin, Eudson, Tyson, François pour sénateur dans le 38e district. Pour information volontaire, 347 268 79 11.
Je pense que le message a passé parce que le 23 juin, c'est le moment pour tout Haïtien que nous faisons un choix, pour choisir un monde qui peut représenter parce que comme Eudson François dit, le chaise là déjà, c'est le monde qui manque, mais il y a une possibilité de gagner, c'est nous-mêmes qui vous mettons dans la place là. Si nous-mêmes votons ou compter en pile, parce que si nous-mêmes Haïtiens dans la communauté Spring Valley, nous ne pas choisir pas Spring Valley, si nous-mêmes Haïtiens, nous-mêmes Black, nous-mêmes Africains, tout le monde ça, et nous pas choisir un monde pour représenter nous, un monde qui a parlé langue nous, un monde qui a comprendre nous, un monde qui a représenter nous, quel que soit côté nous, rive parce que parfois qu'on arrive un côté et nous là service là et ou pas de monde pour défendre nous et comme Eudson dit déjà il était il pas qu'au Sénat mais il était qu'on a défendu nous mais jodi a place la vide pour que ça fait c'est l'autre monde qui est pour l'accompagner nous pour la représenter nous or lui-même il a possibilité il a capacité il a expérience pour la représenter nous. Donc c'est le moment nous-mêmes à essayer pour nous faire choix de ça.
Bon, et moi-même, ça me dit, et c'est vrai, c'est un seul haïtien gagné, et c'est un seul haïtien comme si qui représentait et nous dans la prochaine élection, ça va le fait là. Mais toutefois, tout château était neutre. Il n'y a pas de voter François, Eudson, Tyson. Autant de lui, ou qui ça le dit. Moi-même, si j'ai une possibilité, ou bien si, par exemple, je vais voter là, je ne sais pas si je vais voter. Mais il était personnel. Je ne suis pas obligé de partager. Mais toutefois, petite caille, c'est caille, nous connaissons qui ça me dit par là. Mais surtout, nous ne pouvons pas faire qu'un, par exemple, partisanerie. Rappelez-moi, Eudson et Tyson François, qui ça que vous te promettent village là, le que vous te trustee, l'autre a posé candidature pour trustee. What was the promise? Or what were the promises?
So let me just say this. I don't want to shock you, but I never make a promise. That's number one.
Politically incorrect.
No, I'm like this. I'm going to say this. I never promised them anything. I didn't promise them anything. One thing I will say to you is, I've earned my stripes. I've earned the right by our residents to go out and vote for me because I served them. Not I did. I'm in their lives every day. I won't give up on them, but moi servi pep moi pour la vie. Yo tout comme ça. Si m'arrive les monde qui connaissent ça que me fait dans la vie yo pour t'arriver ça c'est ça sort chercher c'est dans ça que lié. M'pas champ pour mettre rien, mais me toujours mettre comme dehors pour me servir.
Okay.
Mais to be available to hear people, to listen, to be compassionate. Let me give you an example. 3 Thursdays ago, I'm home. I'm tired. I have a phone call coming in. A man calls me about 55, 6 years ago, called me, right? He says to me, I didn't pick up I was like, I'm not going to pick up. I really can't. But I picked up. He says, Mr. Francois, call 911. I can't breathe. My chest is hurting. He said, promise. Don't promise anything. But I'll always be there. They called my police department. They called the paramedics. I beat the paramedics in my police department there. Because I was so concerned. I beat them there. I was able to translate what his concerns were, what his needs were. He took him to Nyack Hospital. Checked up on him at 2:30 in the morning. And he got home. That is called knock your socks off customer service. Where you serve somebody beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, you said earlier that you're a public servant, and then I truly, to be honest with you, I've been following you on Facebook, and I think you prove what leadership is about. You prove what leadership is about. But at the same time, like most of the time, when someone is a politician, they can tell you whatever they want just to make you believe in them. But me personally, that's based on my standpoint. So I make sure that I want to know exactly what what is the person's agenda. Because let's say, for instance, this is what's going on now. It's COVID-19. After COVID-19, what is next? So like a lot of jobs will be. We're gonna face in a short while a recession. So we're gonna have. I don't know exactly if the fund are properly given to the specific businesses, but for some reason a lot of businesses gonna be collapsed, or like they're gonna need to be closed due to the fact that there is no fund at all. So and people in our community, they need to know like what is in your agenda. They need to understand it. They need to they want to know basically what is the main reason that you decide to tell them to vote for them. It's good to give like a good speech. I understand that, and also it's good to motivate them to vote for you. But at the same time, after I vote for you, because once I cast the ballot, I gotta make sure that you represent me and not telling me that we're lazy. I'm sorry to say that, but I just had to say it. But that's true. I'm just saying that because I feel like I need to tell you that because it is mandatory right now. It is mandatory to know what they really want from you. So therefore, please convince them. Please convince them. Please convince them by your agenda. Give me 3 things from your agenda, and then that's it.
And I think you know already my agenda, which we spoke earlier. One thing is I definitely want to work on the unemployment, which is a job, which is a very, very important thing that we're going through. Which everything that I'm about to say, we already said them. They just didn't they probably caught on late, but we already talked about them. We talked about affordable housing, which is very important throughout the state of New York.
That's one.
We talked about tenant rights, which is very, very important. I kid you not, this is major. It goes along with that. We also talked about unemployment, which is 2. This is 2 on my agenda, which is tenant rights is number 3. Okay? So, but these are some of the things that I want to focus on. One of the other things I want to focus on is our seniors. Let's talk about that for 2 seconds. One of our seniors said to me, Trustee, do you know that my rent is $900? I get $600 from Social Security. How are you going to pay? Where am I going to get? We have a large, we have probably one of the largest senior citizen, in I think in the county, if not in the county. Where? I'm telling you. Going into office, I see the needs because I'm a part of my mother is a part of that. My mother. Mental health has become a major problem. Why? Because of the fact they took it away from Rockland County. So this is something major. So mental health, senior citizen goes together plus health. See, that's all in there together. So when you really think about it, our seniors, $300 côté m'paye $900. Where am I going to find? Côté m'pas j'ai $300. So we have to find that. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm getting to that, okay, so don't worry. So the main reason that I decided to stay like that in front of like a Trustee Francois, I don't want you to know that I'm imposing you to vote for him, but I want him to convince you to see the main reason that they're supposed to vote for you or to vouch for you as well. So that's what it is about. So Touche à tout, c'est une émission à caractère social, politique, culturel qui toujours passe sur l'antenne de Génération 2000. I don't want to represent like a third party of your campaign. I don't want to do that. But I want them to know exactly this is the main reason, and based on your agenda, they will see, okay, now I feel like convinced, I feel like persuaded, I need to vote for Tyson Francois. But long story short, so à vrai dire, l'heure a fait nos défauts. Nous allons souligner, nous allons juste prendre lui après ça pour nous faire mot de la fin, après ça pour nous finir. Alors, l'heure est trop petit, mais malheureusement. Radio Génération 2000, bonsoir.
Bonsoir. C'est Miguel Joseph. J'ai des questions pour Eudson. Qui m'a peut-être bien vite en avant des questions.
Oui, faut. Ok.
Et spécialement Haïti qui voit la construction bien vite.
Ok.
Mbappé, Eudson faire l'effort et même si la porte là, ça bataille pour nous en ce moment. Parce qu'il y a 3 autres très difficiles pour rien sur ça. Quand nous comprenons ça. But quand nous comprenons tout, pour combien d'années, nous pouvons faire ça. From what I remember, for the first time, a Haitian person, or probably first or second time, I'm not sure, that's running for a higher position within the New York State that's not from Brooklyn or anywhere else in New York City. So it's a big major step. So ça me demandait sous économique là et bon paquet de monde y a bail expérience gouvernementale. Et question ça me demandait parce que nous avons des autres parce que même des femmes et des gens qui la connaissent qui qualité non y a pas utilisé bon paquet de qui
Alors?
Alors,
ça veut dire avant tout la vie là.
Ok.
bon, nous pas vraiment entendre des questions. Vous attendez bien, non?
Well,
Est-ce que vous entendez ça aussi, tu as dit?
Il dit que il y a une série de business que business et après Covid-19 là et il va l'affecter. Il y a qui n'ont pas retourné il y a qui n'ont pas retourné encore qui sont pensés au niveau économique parce que ils ont leur propre business par là.
So, Board of Trustee, nous commençons à discuter que nous voyons que moi-même pas pas make business, pas faire l'argent. So, ça c'est un bagage qui concerne pour nous. So, nous décidons que nous pourrons ouvrir un stade de Human Resource Center en dedans qui est capable de servir monde qui peut-être capable de travailler pour nous capable d'aider à jouer un travail ou bien pas travail tout. Mais, je ne vais pas mentir. You get supposed to get loan pour small business yo. But je ne vais pas mentir. Si vous avez small business à longtemps ou bien comment pour essayer de jouer, il n'est pas facile pour jouer. Il n'est pas facile pour entrer là-dedans. Parce que nous avons un paquet de monde qui ne peut pas jouer une ressource. So, we're going to have to open the avenue. Door pour nous capables de servir mon yo the way that we can from our ability utilizing pour nous utiliser both county yo, both town là, both village là pour nous chercher un gens plus notre business yo, whether it's working out of the mall. But problème qui gagne c'est que faut nous chercher opportunity pour nous par exemple comme un restaurant, right? Okay. Et si nous te connaissons que Trustee nous pendant le Covid là, m'offre pour tout restaurant, ça qui t'a entendu. Moi faire peuple là et faire order, beaucoup de orders. On jour nous fait $750 dans quel côté pour mal bail manger with the homeless avec senior citizen. Tout ça c'était pour business. We're gonna have to find ways to help the small businesses. Yes, take out this
Make it a circle,
universal.
Okay.
We're going to have to find a way. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to have to challenge the residents. Instead of you going over there, let it like you. Avocat ça qu'il a, haïtien, utiliser. So we have to come up with a systemic thing that's going to be able to empower us to utilize our resources at home. Because if I say it's going to be a dark day. It's coming.
Ensemble avec François, nous avons toujours fait une programmation, mettre la programmation pour l'autre date, côté auditeur qui fait des questions pour poser. Je dis, il y a des chances, François, est-ce qu'on est available pour toucher à tout, je vais date là, que
on ne va pas date là, mais on va juste dire que
toute population a un peu de questions, mais malheureusement, l'heure est en fait nos défauts. C'est dommage, nous pas qu'à prendre appel parce que les gens pour nous supposés faire là, mais malheureusement. Et en tout cas, nous avons seulement 2 heures de temps et nous déjà comme si dépassé sous l'heure nous avons supposé et l'autre émission a supposé commencer. Et nous vraiment excusez-nous à Johnny Mix qui est là, qui vient faire émission par pendant ce temps nous étant rentré sous terre et je pense que il n'est pas faire et vraiment excusez dans la radio sur ça. Et en tout cas, pas oublier d'être branché avec radio ou parce que parler de Johnny Mix dans là et tout simplement et me connaît un mot de la fin qui va dire pour Trustee François. Alors population attendez.
Well, peuple haïtien, community of Spring Valley, Rockland County, c'est Trustee nous qui est là avec nous là. Et même si nous avons un grand monde qui parle avec moi hier, qui dit comme ça que pour qui ça que moi pas assister à la campagne pour moi supporter blanc à pourrir. Ça fait mal parce que c'est un haïtien qui m'a dit ça. frères et sœurs, il n'y a pas rien plus qui est important que pour me dire que votre important pour moi, relation avec vous plus important pour moi. Moi, je voulais servir dans l'autre niveau. Nous toujours à courir pour office, nous concentrer dans le local là. Même les gains pas gains, mais nous t'y courir. Porte l'envie ouverte que côté que ou même petit un jour capable de courir. Pas oublier, porte moyen toujours ouvert pour nous. Quand nous pas qu'à payer, travail que nous pas gagner, immigration problème que nous gagnons. Nous mêmes filles qui a travail que nous pas qu'à recevoir même beaucoup de l'argent que garçons ont touché. Nous mêmes qui gagnons mon dans l'école, ils sont pour n'importe côté que nous pensons pas gagner funding, côté funding n'est pas chambre là. Nous mêmes qui t'arrêtons Spring Valley développer plus. Parce qu'on y a Spring Valley une opportunité pour mettre un monde qui vivent là, petite Spring Valley. Pour tout Haïtien qui te voulait qu'on pour un poste plus grand, opportunité est still là pour nous. Et monde qui grand monde qui pas capable, ça c'est pour nous lier parce que nous élevons petite frère François. Nous remercie nous, bon Dieu béni nous. Nous offrir de condoléances dans le moment de COVID-19. Priez pour moi. En nous qui me ferme, moi remets nous. Bon Dieu béni nous. Votez Eudson, Tyson, Francois pour New York State Senate. Vote Eudson, Tyson, Francois, New York State Senate.
Attention, attention, all my Rockland and Westchester County residents.
Ok, malheureusement, temps déjà nous fait nos défauts et nous supposons aller. Et encore une fois, je dis tout le monde comme ça que c'était un plaisir qui était avec vous. Mon dernier mot, Mathieu Donald, avant que nous allions.
Oui, faut toujours dire ça, mais dis dernier mot parce que nous toujours dit bon Dieu bon la vie m'a toujours qu'à parler. So nous sommes bien contents de recevoir François aujourd'hui à la radio Génération 2000. Nous espérons que on a continué parce que c'est un travail que nous avons fait. Développement c'est qu'on s'allie, développement va gain fin. Développement toujours gain continuité. Quand il s'agit de faire développement, nous là radio Génération 2000 là, et nous espérons tout le monde qui est branché ou est bien branché. Je dis vendredi si bon Dieu veut, émission par là continuer faire chez nous.
Mes amis, dans le micro 1, nous avons Witten Desire, dans le micro 2, nous avons Mathieu Donald, dans le micro 3, nous avons Eudson Tyson Francois, current trustee of Spring Valley, is running for Senate 38th District. Et mes amis, nous voulons faire connaître que nous dans le week-end, soit conduit par bois, soit bois pas conduit. COVID-19 toujours là. Et respecter CDC guidelines, social distancing est important. Alors, nous voulons faire nous comprendre que l'important pour nous-mêmes dans la radio Génération 2000, et nous vraiment pour nous dire mon tour, moi désolé parce que pas bien assez de temps et qui chronométré pour un dire comme ça pour émission malheureusement parce que il y a pile qui question à auditeurs nous pensons qu'on a venir l'autre prochaine fois la prochaine fois côté que les gens ont adressé questions mais malheureusement temps déjà à faire nos défauts nous pas arrêter davantage nous supposons aller c'était un monde là frère pour Rutherford Malaysia et My Desire dans micro 1 encore une fois dans micro 2 avec Mathieu Donald dans micro 3 nous t'ai gagné Eudson Tyson François nous disons bonsoir à tout le monde bye bye bon week-end à la prochaine.
Thank you everyone.
Hey, OJ and the beat. Hey, depuis vendredi, rivé sous la tour, génération 2000, tout est là. Depuis le fait c'est qu'elle pour river, c'est TPM, touche à casser bouton. Son émission à caractère social, qu'il tire, qui politique. Avec Rutherford, mon désir, Mathieu Donald et Clairvaux Joseph. Touche à tout, son émission qui passe chaque vendredi sur Radio Paola, Radio Génération 2000, 87.9 FM. Ou qu'à attendre nous sur site nous, www.radiogénération2000.com. Au soir à les smartphones nous, à sur Play Store, tapez Radio Génération 2000. Pour plus d'informations, au soir pour participer à l'émission, relais 845 419 1825. Non touche à tout, nous toucher toute bagaille. Ses oreilles ou pour parler. Ses oreilles ou pour parler. Ses oreilles ou pour parler. Touche à tout, touche à tout.